I'm going to record some longer videos coming days or maybe even coming weeks, and I'll do my best to use a whiteboard or some visuals for you so that your mind can capture things better, because working with visuals is quite effective. So I'm going to do that more often. Look, in this video I just want to remind you, please be alert. I'm going to give an example to you. If you enter a neighborhood and you see a Chinese restaurant, and there are many Chinese folks working there, they even speak Chinese to one another. They only speak English when they're customers. And even when they're customers, they speak Chinese to each other. So the customers don't even know what they're discussing. Normally, in the cuisine branch, they tell you to please the customer as much as possible. So if you would go to a Vietnamese restaurant, they would speak English to one another if they're in an English-speaking country. But let's say you have a Chinese restaurant and they even speak Chinese there. They don't even care much about the customers. And still, the people in that neighborhood keep going to that Chinese restaurant. But then you look at the bigger picture and realize, hold on a minute, the people here don't even want foreigners around. They have a racial attitude against foreigners. How is it possible that this Chinese restaurant is here amongst those people with racial tendencies, and those people keep going there? Where you have migrants that don't even want to speak their language. When you see this, you know that black magic is going on. The owner of the Chinese restaurant, together with the Chinese that run that restaurant, they're doing black magic. They have paranormal cover. That's why they can make it. When you see something like this, you know instantly that it's black magic. It shouldn't be a secret to you that there are churches that operate in black magic. If you have a church or a congregation and everything goes smooth and easy for people at the congregation, you seldom hear of attacks on their health, on their finances, or on their lives. Things keep on going for them financially, economically. There are marriages being made all the time. There are so many weddings. So things keep happening for them in a smooth manner. Even though they are in a world that hates Christ. Yet in the name of Christ, they are so prosperous. Yet nobody goes against their prosperity, or no reprobate tries to abuse and take advantage of their prosperity. Are you kidding me? When you see a church or a congregation that has things going for them so smoothly, it is because that congregation is led by a pagan pastor who's a warlock, and it's demons that behind that ministry. You may have genuine believers there that think they're doing God's will. They're deceived. That institution is not from God. It's black magic that keeps it going. You have many of such churches out there. Now, I'm not telling you to only pay attention to churches. Pay attention to businesses. Pay attention to corporations. Pay attention to institutions. Even pay attention to social movements. If you have a social movement that's against establishment, that establishment must come with force against it. If you have a social movement that's against injustice, and many people join that movement, and the authorities are frightened of that movement, but still the movement they still give permission for the movement to continue, then you know that it's controlled opposition. So yeah, if you have folks putting on yellow vests going out there to protest, yet things remain the same, even though the majority of the people in the country are fed up with the leaders, they know that yellow vest movement is used to redirect the rage of the people, to trap people back in that same situation that they are fed up with. Always look at the context, people. I'm telling you, look at the context. Because remember, those reprobates out there, anytime they have the chance and the opportunity to act out and get out of hand, they'll do it. They don't care about the consequences on others as long as they get the relief. That's how reprobates are. I'm not telling you to be frightened of reprobates, to be afraid. Absolutely not. You walk by faith. Your walk by faith should be so powerful that when reprobates even hear your name, they're terrified. They're running away. That's how it ought to be. Unfortunately, many believers haven't reached that state yet. A lot of believers are still in the rescue me, Lord state. That was when you were just born again and you realized that you were in danger. It's then that you were holding up your hand saying, Lord, save me. Once you're born again, once you're saved, you should walk by faith, you should walk in the power. It's a reprobate that should watch out for believers, not other way around. Of course, we are watchful, we are alert to recognize when a reprobate tries to make his or her move towards us or in our environment, not out of fear, but just out of being alert. It should be the reprobate that's scared and frightened of believers. But that can only happen when believers walk by faith, walk in the power, and that implies being alert. I'm telling you, be alert. Recognize black magic when it's operating. That's it for now. Agree with Christ and be at peace.